All right, last week's game, tough loss. I think the guys, we just flat for whatever reason. The first half, we just didn't come out with a lot of enthusiasm. We had a nice crowd, so I just didn't understand why we weren't ready to play. You know, I think it probably had a little bit to do with that. We had a decent showing against ODU, and then the guys kind of, too many people telling them they played good against ODU, and, you know, a more victory in the loss. And that's what I was trying to tell those guys, you know, don't worry about that. We got to keep getting better every single day, keep working hard, doing little things that got us to play the way we played against ODU, so we can continue to play that way. And I think kind of they listened to too many people tell them they played well and wasn't ready to play the first half, and then realized, okay, coach was right, we got to come out and play, and don't worry about last week. And we played a little bit better in the second half. We scored 2 touchdowns. I think we probably had over 300-something yards in the second half of total offense. So we executed well in the second half. We still had some turnovers that stopped us from scoring, and the defense played a little bit better. I think they gave us 20 in the first half and 22 the second half. So they kind of played the same, but offensively we didn't execute. We had a couple opportunities. We could have made the game 10-7 on one play, and we had the line the wrong side, and then the guy didn't block somebody. And we had a guy wide open 10 yards behind the defense. Would have made the game 10-7. Would have probably been a different ball game at that point. We got a crowd in the game, momentum. 10-7 is early, and you know, telling what could happen. So, but you know, that's why you play the games and you practice, and you got to learn from those mistakes and try not to make the same mistakes again this week, and continue to get better. And then now going on to this week. Richmond, the Spiders, I don't know where they rank now. When they came in ranked number 7. They might have moved up in the polls, but they're 18. And so they got a very good football team. They played Virginia, real tough. The first half, it really was a good ball game, and they should have probably had the lead or been tied at halftime. Then the second half, they came out and turned the ball over, and they kind of got away from them a little bit right there. But they got a very good football team. They're well coached. I'm going to say they're probably just as good, if not better, than William & Mary.
First, what can you, I mean, is there anything you can draw, or kids can draw when you sit down and watch video of those, you know, those games that you can kind of take and compare as you prepare for them?
Well, you got to say, when they play in Virginia, they're not as bad as they look on tape, because they playing a BCS team. They playing some guys that's bigger, faster, stronger, and so of course you're not going to look as good. Excuse me. And then when you play in a non-scholarship program, you're going to look better than what you really are, because those guys don't have the talent level that you have or the depth that you have. So of course you're going to look a lot better. You're going to look like Superman playing against them, and then you're going to look like a mere mortal playing against Virginia. So you got to kind of look at the film and balance it out and say, listen, that guy really ain't that good, look who he's blocking. And then the next game when they play in Virginia, you say, look, the guy really ain't that bad, look who's blocking, or look who he's going against. So you kind of got to balance it out and try to figure it out from there. So they're somewhere in between. They're not as bad as they played against Virginia, not as good as they looked against Moorhead. So you kind of just got to go by the pass and how tough they play against the BCS. So they play those guys pretty tough. They hung in there with them. And then I think the depth and the turnovers just worn down that UVA guy.
Yeah, you talked about you guys coming out flat the other night. Was that anything you sensed either in the locker room or pre-game or anything like that, or is that just sort of how the first half unfolded?
Well, I think it's just how it unfolded. I think I couldn't tell. I preached that all week that, you know, I'm not satisfied with more victory. And you know, everybody's saying how well you played and how well you looked, you're gonna be all right and all this. No, that's not what we're here for. We're not here for more victories. We're here for victories. And I told those guys, don't get caught up in that. Keep your focus and let's keep working hard. And that's what I think happened in the first half. You know, not taking anything away from William & Mary, but I just think we didn't execute the way we did. We should have. We didn't come out to match their intensity. And you know, we waited till the second half to start playing. It was too late.
Hey, how do you think JJ did at quarterback from, you know, week 1 to week 2? I know his numbers weren't as good as the week before. Obviously, you're playing against a different kind of defense, but did you see improvement in just his decision-making, execution, that kind of thing from week 1 to week 2?
Yeah, he had a good game. You know, I don't expect him to throw for 400 yards every game. So I didn't plan on him throwing for 400 yards again. I think he had like 330 or something like that. But 330 yards passing, that's a great game. If he throws for 300 yards every game, we have a good chance of winning a lot of games. So yeah, he played well. You know, the quarterback is going to have a microscope on him, and you know, he's going to make some mistakes, but you know, he got the football in his hand every single play. And he snapped the ball 65 times. Of course, he gonna make some mistakes, miss some reads, make a couple bad throws. That's to be expected, but he got to be consistent. He's been playing consistent, making plays for us, and that's what we're looking for.
Go ahead.
You talked about the team coming out and playing better in the third quarter. What was your message to them at halftime to get them off of that flat line that you were talking about?
Well, I just told them we can move the ball. We proved that we can move the ball, but we kept making mistakes. You know, we're getting plays, minus plays, 7 yards, getting sacks and minus plays that's killing drives. People not blocking the right people and things of that nature that was killing our drives in the first half. And I told them we just got to stop shooting ourselves in the foot and go out and execute, play pirate football and put it all together and play one play at a time. And that's what we did the second half. And you know, we executed a lot better in the second half. We still had a couple turnovers or a couple big mistakes down there that cost us, but overall we moved the ball at will in the second half, and we got a couple touchdowns and should probably hit 3 or 4.
The players might have been focusing more on the big picture, trying to impress a home crowd rather than focusing on one play at a time. It's right in front of them.
I guess I really don't know. You know, I'm still learning these guys in a season and how they react to things and how they prepare and things of that nature. So I can't really put my finger on it. I just know we didn't play the way we were supposed to play the first half, and that's my fault. So I got to do a better job of that, getting these guys prepared and ready to fight from the opening kickoff to the last tick on the clock.
Are you getting about as much as you can out of Jordan Washington so far, do you think? Or are there other things, other ways you can guys get him the ball?
We got a couple other ways to give him the ball, but the only thing about that is he's not the biggest back in the world. You know, he's not the biggest guy. He's kind of like you know, little guy. So he, you know, we can't wear him out. You know, we can't try to give him the ball every play. We got him on kickoff return, some punt returns and things of that nature. We're handing him the ball. We're throwing him the ball. He's averaging about 4, 5, 6 catches a game. That's about all we want him to have. You know, no more than about probably 6 or 7. And then give him the ball in the running game, and he's still on return and things of that nature. We don't want to wear him out. You know, we got a long season, and he's a great player, but we can't give him the ball every play. We got to keep the defense honest, use him as a decoy sometimes too. So we'll start employing some of that stuff. And we still got some stuff in our hip pocket that we got to stay safe and confident. We can't show everybody everything in the first 3 games. So we'll be fine. He'll be fine. We got a couple other ways we can use him.
Why is he as effective as he is?
He's a great football player. I mean, he's dangerous. I mean, anytime he gets the ball in his hand, you know, one guy's not going to bring him down. Usually 2 guys are not going to bring him down. You know, you need 3 or 4 people rallying to the football, as you've seen the first 2 games. When he cut back and make the whole defense look crazy, you know, and that's what he can do if you can get him the ball in space. You know, he can take it to the house from anywhere on the football field. He's just he's a difference maker.
With guys like him, I assume you coach guys, you know, little quick guys like him in the past. As the season goes along, do you try to reduce their workload in practice a little bit just to keep them fresh for the for the entire season or anything like that?
Sure do. We practiced in the gym Monday, and he didn't practice. You know, he came out with his stuff on. I told him to go back in and take his pads off and just come back out and pay attention. You know, so you know, this ain't my first barbecue. I know how to take care of my horses, and he's a horse, and we're gonna take care of him. You know, he was moving a little slow, a little gingerly, so I told him, you know, just go in and take your stuff off and pay attention and be ready to go. And that's what you got to do with those type of guys. That's especially his size. They're going to get hit 20 to 30 times in a football game. You know, you got to kind of take care of it. It's a long season, so we'll do it week by week You know, depends on how many times he carried the ball, how many times he got hit, how he's feeling, and things of that nature.
You were playing a handful of freshmen, especially in the front seven on defense. How are those guys doing?
Well, they're doing all they can do. They, you know, they're throwing in the fire. You know, we asking those guys to compete and be successful. And it's a tough task asking true freshmen to come in and play at this level, especially competition that we were playing the first 3 weeks. For those guys to dominate or make a difference, it'd be tough. So we ask those guys to do a lot, but you know, we got to play what we got, and so those guys are forced into action, and we got to keep them out there. You know, one of the reasons we play 3-man line instead of 4-man line is we only play 5 defensive linemen. So if we play 4, when we're gonna rest them? So we got to play 3 and try to get 2 more in there, rest the other 2 at a time. You know, it's a rhyme and reason why we do everything we do. I know people up there, well, why they only got 3 defensive linemen? Don't worry about this. I know what I'm doing. You do your job.
Is there anything you can do as a coaching staff about the red zone turnovers? You had 3 in the first 2 games.
I don't think so. I think you know, the first turnover was a fluke. You know, the one that took out the quarterback hand. The second one, running back just dropped the ball. He was losing his balance. The ball hit him in the face mask. He didn't have time to get his hands up because he was trying to catch his balance. And then Saturday night, Dukes, you know, he was cutting back, trying to fight for yardage, and just, you know, one of those situations, the ball just, you know, popped out there. You know, that's a rare fumble. You hardly ever see that ball pop out like that, and so it did. I don't think, you know, coaching staff, I mean, work on fumble drills, you know, and ripping at the ball and the blaster. We do all that stuff. So, you know, we crossing all our T's and dotting all our I's. Just something that happened. Hopefully, those things won't happen anymore this season. When we get in the red zone, we can take care of the football a little bit better and get those in, because we definitely left 21 points out there.
A little more about the freshman guys on defense, especially you got a guy like Hayden, you know, playing middle linebacker, and a lot of times that's the guy who's making calls and all that stuff. Are those his duties too, or do you have other guys, some of the older guys, actually making the calls?
Yeah, we use our Mike linebacker to make the calls. So yeah, sometimes you have to make a call. And like you said, I mean, you know, in a perfect world, we would like to have redshirt at 8 and put another 10 or 15 pounds on him and let him learn the system and come back and still have 4 years to play. And that's what we got to get the program to where we can bring in our freshmen and redshirt them instead of having to play them and let them put on 10 or 15 pounds of muscle, learn the system, and give them about 30 hours under their belt in the classroom and keep them on track to graduate, and then play those guys. And everybody know a 5th-year senior is better than a 1st-year freshman. So we're just not at that point right now. That's what we're trying to get to, where we can bring our freshmen in redshirt and get them ready to play 4 years after that.
I mean, is it a matter of the freshmen that you're using being the best players that you have, or as a new staff you come in, bring your guys in and say, these are the guys we're going to live with, you know, over the next 4 years? No, we playing the best guys. You know, offensively we only got we don't have any freshmen starting. Mm-hmm. So it's not about bringing in my guys, playing my guys. I'm gonna play the best guys. Washington was here. He's the best player on the football team. I have no problem saying that. I didn't recruit Washington. He was already here. You know, so it's not about my players versus any ex-players or old players or anything of that nature. We're going to play the best players possible. So if those guys are showing us in practice that they're the best and they deserve to play, that's what we're going to play. And it don't matter if they're a freshman or a walk-on or a scholarship guy, we're going to play the best guy to give us the best chance to win.
You were talking about giving Washington a breather or two during the game. You did get Christopher Dukes in there, and he showed that he's got similar type of playmaking ability that Washington does.
He does. Dukes is a good, solid running back, and we have no problem playing Dukes. And you know, he proved Saturday that he can play. We known that the whole time, and you know, we got Eric Carter can play. You know, so we got 3 or 4 running backs that we can run in there, and we can rest Washington. We also can put them a little bit of wide receiver and put Dukes at tailback and get some more productivity out of them. So you know, we got plans to use him and let Dukes get some more carries and rest watching a little bit, things of that nature. So we'll be fine. We going through a tough stretch right now. You know, we're playing some good football teams, some playoff caliber teams, and you know, we're not a playoff caliber team yet. You know, 'cause, you know, we just got here, and the team is young, and we're playing some veteran teams that's used to playing playoffs and ranked, and so they doing what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do to a team that's unproven and not ready for the playoffs yet. And that's where we're gonna get to. We're gonna get to that point to where those teams are, and then we'll be doing teams where they doing us.
Given the way Richmond can chuck it around in their passing game, the importance of getting some pressure on Strauss and Rocco, their two quarterbacks.
Yeah, we definitely got to try to get to theirs. If you know the old saying, if you can protect yours and get to theirs, you got a good chance. So we're gonna try to put some pressure on them and make them throw the ball to somebody in his face, and then we got to cover them in the back end. So we'll play it by the ear. And when we need to put a little bit of pressure, we'll probably bring some pressure. And when we don't, we'll probably sit back. So it's just see how the games fall.